guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another pregnancy vlog. Today we are talking weeks 24 to 26. As you can tell, I'm a little out of breath. I feel like my belly has definitely popped. Like, I know I spoke a little bit in my last pregnancy vlog about how my belly like really popped and like people were actually noticing and commenting, and now it's like super obvious, which I love. I love because I feel like up until this point it's been that like awkward in between of like, is she pregnant, is she not pregnant, we're not really sure. But now I definitely look pregnant and I'm loving it. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my notes on these past few weeks that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay, so let's talk about weeks 24 to 26, which I have to say, like, as a whole, have been like probably my favorite weeks so far. I felt really good. I felt like myself. I felt like I've had a lot of energy, all while like looking pregnant. And I feel like that's what I was really hoping for. And I have to be really grateful that I am pregnant. I am toward the end of my second trimester, which is crazy daisy, and I can still keep doing everything I'm doing. So I can still go to work, and I'm a Pilates instructor and a dance teacher, and they're very like on your feet, like physical things. So I can still do that. I can still take classes, I can still spin, like I can still do everything that I love that makes me feel like me, all while like creating a little human inside, you know? And I don't know, as I like now journey into the beginning of the third trimester, I don't know how long that's gonna last, you know? So I look back on these past few weeks and really like appreciate them, and just wanted you guys to know that like, yeah, they were really fantastic weeks. Okay, so let's talk. Baby is so low. Baby is so low. And we knew that from the sonograms, but I can feel, like I can feel he is so low. He has been kicking. So I mentioned in my last vlog that I felt his first kick on October 18th. And since then, every day he is super active, but not in a painful way. And that's the funny thing, is like a lot of people have said to me like, oh, is he kicking? And I'll say yes. And they'll be like, oh, like I'm sure like that's a lot for you to handle. And I'm like, you know what? To be honest, none of his kicks, he's still, you know, he's not super huge yet, and I'm sure like when you get super huge, kicking into the ribs and into the like this whole upper region like really does not feel nice. But right now he's still like small enough that his kicks and his movements they just feel lovely. Like they just feel like little flutters, or yeah, it just feels nice. Like it doesn't hurt, nothing bad. I really like it. But oh my gosh, because he's so low, the pressure down like in the base of my hips and like down by my pelvis, it's just a lot. And so I think like soon I'll have to get one of those like little belly bands, like a belly bandit band, because I think I might need the extra support. So far I've been fine. And who knows, I might be fine, but he is just so low. And yeah, especially like, and I, you know, laughed to my best friend about this, but toward the end of the day, and I'm sure like if you've been pregnant or if you are pregnant, you can kind of relate, or just like a human, right? Because I feel like even when I wasn't pregnant, I always like got sort of bloated toward the end of the day, unless I was really good with like my eating and like really good with working out. Like toward the end of the day, I don't know, I feel like your body just kind of bloats a little bit. Oh my gosh, times that by a million when you're pregnant. By the end of the day, I'm not like bloated in my face or my arms or anything. It's just my belly. My belly feels so big and so heavy. And especially in the past few days, I'm unzipping my top because I want to kind of show you a little bit. I guess I don't have to, but especially in the past few days, I have been experiencing toward the end of the day, like middle end of the day, a lot of discomfort and a lot of, I use the term pain loosely because it's manageable, and I don't know, I think people hear pain and they like freak out when they hear that word. So it's not like painful, it's just very uncomfortable. I feel like a lot of pressure right at the top of my sternum. So little early belly shot. So like right there at the top, right at the bottom of my sternum, at the top of my like abdominals, at the top of my connective tissue, I feel a lot of pressure, and I feel like it's my abs stretching, and especially like that connective tissue that lives, so you have like two halves of your abdominals, the rectus abdominis, the six-pack muscle, and in between that is the connective tissue, and that's what stretches and opens, and that's what like is termed like the diastasis when you're done having your baby. That's the separation, and that's where the separation comes from. And I feel like it's the very top of the connective tissue, like attaching to the bottom of my sternum, that has been feeling a lot of the pull and the weight, because if you can see, I'll back up a little bit, like he's so low, he's so low, he's all down here. So like as my belly gets more bloated and as it gets heavier as the day goes on, or like as I eat and whatever, like up here starts to like really feel the pull down, and I can feel it, like I can feel the little like band right in between my abdominals. I can feel the little band like not pulling, but like I can feel the pressure. Do you know what I mean? Like I can feel the pressure of it like holding on and like trying to stretch. So that was really uncomfortable. A few days ago we put up the tree and we did like the whole decorating thing, and I could barely, by the end of the night, oh my gosh, it was so painful that one, I couldn't like, any sort of forward flexion was like out of the equation, which it should be out of the equation to start with, because anytime you like forward flex, you increase that sort of opening of your abdominals. So I've been trying not to forward flex, although that's been so difficult because as a lot of you know, I mentioned, I don't know, in a car vlog or what, or I guess in my last pregnancy vlog, I mentioned that Jeff is away for work. He's away for work until Christmas Eve. And so I have to do everything on my own. And that includes like changing Elsie's pee pads and doing laundry and like things that are strenuous. I'm careful, but like I have to bend down. So I definitely couldn't bend down, but the pressure was causing so much tightness and again, pain loosely, like just uncomfortable through my back, like all the muscles in my back. So that sort of happened every night since then for the past like 4 nights. Oh, and I should mention, I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video. So right now I'm 27 weeks and 1 day. So I just entered my 27th week. And I really wanted to film this for you guys because, not because I like, you know, I obviously wanted to film it like close to like my 24 to 26 week, you know, period so that I didn't forget. But also because my gestational diabetes test is this afternoon. My gestational diabetes test is actually I have to leave in like an hour. And so I wanted to film it before I had the test done because I genuinely wanted to like I wanted to separate, because these 2 weeks have been so great. Like they've been so wonderful. I'm just now remembering that I drank a smoothie and hoping it's like not all over my face. I didn't want like whatever happened today with, you guys know, like the doctor's appointment last time was not great. I didn't really like the midwife. I'm seeing her again today. I have the gestational diabetes test today. I'm going by myself. Jeff can't come with me. And so like, I just didn't want that appointment to damper like how great I felt these past few weeks. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to just like get all this information out to you guys. I don't think I'm going to post this video until next week, but I am going to like vlog my gestational diabetes test. I might not be able to vlog inside the hospital or like in the office, but I'll like vlog before. Anyway, so yeah, that was so uncomfortable. And it's happened to me every night since, I guess, when we get our tree. It's almost been a week now that it's been happening. And my best friend was like, maybe it's, like she's a doula and she's had 2 kids. She was like, maybe it's the baby's heels pushing up into you. But I don't think it is. Like I can definitely feel like it's the muscle. Like not the muscle, it's the connective tissue. I can feel it. And it's very localized, super, super localized. So yeah, that hasn't been the most fun thing, but totally manageable. And then these past few weeks, I actually have had some pretty hormonal days. And although I don't like how I feel when I feel super hormonal, I still, in a weird way, welcome them because I haven't had very many of those days. Do you know what I mean? Like I haven't had a lot of those, like, you know, those quintessential or like very stereotypical pregnancy hormonal days where I'm craving something or, you know, advertisement on TV makes me cry. Like that hasn't really happened to me. And so especially I'm thinking of like 2 days specifically over the past few weeks that I've felt hormonal. And although again, like it's not a good feeling to have because my hormonal days have been very like, I've just been like blah, I don't want to do anything, don't want to talk to anybody, like I can't, like I have some anxiety, like it's not fun, but at the same time I'm like, well, this is part of the journey and like I can accept this and recognize that like, you know, tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll be fine. What else? Oh, so in terms of working out, and I think obviously this has like such a huge part of, or such a huge part of why I felt so good is I've been working out pretty consistently for the past few weeks. I've been working out maybe like 2 to 3 times a week, more like 3. I've been going to SoulCycle classes and I love them. I love them. I love them. However, I had an incident. I was laughing at myself because when this happened and I was driving home, sorry, there's a hair on my face. I was driving home and it reminded me so much. For those of you who have watched my vlogs, and especially my Florida vlogs, remember when I first moved down to Florida, I was looking for a spin class, and then I had that incident in one of the spin classes I went to where I threw up, like I had to go to the bathroom and then like I threw up in the bathroom. That kind of happened to me last Wednesday. It was my own fault because I remember thinking during the class, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually keeping up. Like, because the whole point of the spin class is like, you're cycling to the beat of the music. And the instructor like puts together a playlist that like obviously is very challenging and like, you know, certain songs are faster than others and it raises your heart rate. And the doctor had said specifically like, don't let your heart rate get over 145, which is actually kind of low if you're used to doing pretty intense cardio work, and I am. So I was like keeping up and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel great. This is amazing. And spin classes are normally like 40 to 45 minutes long, so they're pretty short. So I got through like 2/3 of the class, and then we get to the weight section, and there's a section in the class where you have hand weights and you're doing some free weight work, and it's a nice opportunity to kind of like give your legs a little bit of a break, but then also to work your upper body. And it's literally in the last 10 minutes of class is the weight section. So we get to the weight section and I have 2 pounds in each hand, like really light. So we start doing the weights, and it was a warm day that day. Like I remember it was a weirdly warm day in New York, and it was a full class, and I was in the back row. I was sitting like in the middle of the back row. Normally I like to sit on the outer sides. That way I can like leave the class quite swiftly at the end. And you know, it's just also too like with my belly, it's hard to climb over bikes. Anyway, so we're doing the weights, and all of a sudden I start feeling really nauseous and dizzy, like really, really dizzy. And this has happened to me before multiple times, right? At that spin class last year in Florida. But on top of that, like, again, like, it's happened to me pretty well my whole life, like, where my heart rate just gets too high and I start to feel really dizzy and kind of nauseous. And it used to happen to me in dance all the time. So it's not like something I'm not familiar with, but at the same time, because it's not something I'm not familiar with. Right. That makes sense, right? I don't know. Anyway, it's something that I'm very familiar with. And so the negative side of that is that like I know when it's happening what I need to do, which is like I need to get out of the room where I am. I need to sit. I need to like bring my heart rate back down. I need to get like some cold water. So anyway, we're in the middle of the weight section. If any of you have taken like a spin class specifically, the bikes are always so close to each other. You know, at SoulCycle, the room is dark, and like the whole thing is like you don't leave during the class. You just don't leave during the class. But here I am, like I'm pregnant. Obviously I'm not feeling well. So the woman next to me turned to me and she was like, are you okay? Like, is everything all right? She must have been able to tell, because in my head I'm like, I'm being like super subtle about like not feeling good. She must have known. And I was like, actually, I'm like not really feeling well. Like I'm just feeling a little dizzy. And she was like, do you need to go? And then the woman next to me on the other side of me like turned to me and she was like, are you feeling okay? And then all the women in my row like started getting nervous. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna go. And so I start getting off my bike and they're all like, maybe you shouldn't go because you feel dizzy. And I'm like, no, it's fine, it's fine. So I like start to stumble out of my row to leave the studio. And I get to the door, and the door has never felt so heavy. I couldn't open the door. It felt literally like it was locked. I was pushing the door, and then the instructor came, and because she saw I was like struggling and needed to leave, and I like mouthed to her, I'm sorry, because I felt so embarrassed. And like obviously like the health and the well-being of my child come first, and he's in my body right now, so like I have to put put myself first and I have to, like, if I'm feeling sick, I have to go. And I was, but it didn't, like, take away from how embarrassed I felt, you know, like, it's so, I hate being that person. Anyway, so she opened the door for me. I sat outside. The managers came. They're like, is everything okay? And they got me, like, some more water and a cold towel. And after, like, 10 minutes of, like, sitting and with the cold towel and the water and stuff, I felt fine. Like, I felt just fine. I'm sorry if you can hear that. I think my brother's taking a shower. Anyway, so I felt fine, but it was still just, like, such an embarrassing situation to have to happen. And since then I have been back to SoulCycle and I've been fine. Again, I've been fine. I've definitely, like, taken it down a notch. And I think that's been an interesting lesson for me to learn because I'm so used to it and I love that feeling. Like, I love pushing myself and I love working really hard in fitness classes, especially when they're only 40 to 45 minutes long, you know? And I love SoulCycle and it's just been, like, there's been a funny learning curve with being pregnant and having to, like, really listen to my body, like, and not, because mentally I think I'm, like, a very strong person, and so, like, mentally I can push my body further than maybe my body wants to go, which is, like, both, like, a good and bad thing. But I think now it's sort of like the opposite. Like, I have to train my mind to, like, calm down, to, like, not push my body so hard, because I don't want that to happen again. So yeah, but since then I've been feeling fine. I've been feeling good. And then in terms of, like, cravings, like, things that I've been loving, again, like, I think I mentioned this in my last video about, like, craving orange juice. I haven't had, like, any sort of, like, crazy craving in the past few weeks, but I have still loved. I've been making a lot of smoothies, actually. I have a smoothie sitting over there. I've been making a lot of smoothies. I've just felt good, so I've been eating really well, or, like, vice versa, you know? I've been eating well, so I feel good. I don't know. So that's been nice. I've been making a lot of smoothies with, like, berries and protein powder and what else? I've been, like, added a little bit of orange juice, which I know is high in sugar, but whatever. And yeah, so that's been good. And then in terms of my apps, I wanted to mention this because I thought it was really funny. A lot of the times I talk about, like, what I've experienced and, like, what I've been feeling and whatever, but a lot of times I don't really mention, like, what I haven't been experiencing. Do you know what I mean? Like, typical pregnancy symptoms that I haven't experienced. And the one that popped up on my app, so I have the Ovia app, the Bump, What to Expect, and Baby Center, I think it's called. But really I only use, like, I use Baby Center and the Bump for, like, photo journaling, like taking a picture of my bump every week. But really I only kind of use What to Expect and, sorry, there's, like, still a hair on my face. Got it. What to Expect and Ovia for, like, information. Anyway, so I have been getting, you know, like, every day and then every, like, week you get, like, these big write-ups of, like, what you should be experiencing, what you should be feeling. Anyway, I think for week 26 there was, like, this whole section on hemorrhoids and how, like, you might be experiencing hemorrhoids right now, like, very uncomfortable symptom. And I just wanted to say, and, like, thank the Lord that that is not something I've been experiencing. I have not been experiencing a lot of, like, the very uncomfortable symptoms that I've been reading about. So for that, I'm pretty grateful. Yeah, like, and hemorrhoids is definitely a huge one. Obviously, I've, like, experienced other uncomfortable symptoms, like that bloating in my stomach and, like, the uncomfortable, like, pulling of my muscle and connective tissue. But I'll take that any day over hemorrhoids, so I feel pretty good about that. And then I wanted to mention, oh my gosh, I think I just forgot. Also, baby brain or, like, pregnancy brain is such a real thing. It happens to me all the time where, like, in the middle of what I'm talking about, I forget. And a lot of it's funny too, because, like, a lot of times it'll happen when I'm teaching. So when I'm teaching Pilates or when I'm teaching dance, I'll be saying something and then, like, halfway through totally forget what it was I was saying. It sort of just happened to me now where, like, I remember I wanted to mention something to you guys about the apps, but now I can't remember. Darn it. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like that's everything. I'm still using, like, a lot of lotion, the same coconut oil, the same body butter. That Earth Mama Angel Baby body butter stuff has lasted me, so I got that stuff back in my first trimester and it still hasn't run out. So I don't know, like, it's some sort of miracle lotion, like Mary Poppins bag lotion, because it just keeps coming out. So I would highly recommend that. And as always, like, I remember the book. Don't let me forget the book. Anyway, everything will be listed down below in the description bar. So everything that like I ever mentioned about like pregnancy related stuff, vitamins, lotions, everything's down below. Let me mention the book and then we'll be done. So I had mentioned maybe like a few vlogs back that I had ordered a bunch of books off Amazon. And one of them was The Shit That No One Tells You About Having a Kid or like having a newborn or something. Again, I'll link it down below. But I read that and it was so funny. It was such a great book. So if you're looking for something like really light-hearted, something fun, but also like, you know, it had good information. It wasn't like totally pointless. I would highly recommend that book because it was fun. And my husband took it with him. He's traveling for work, and so he took it with him. And I think it's a great book for men to read too, because even though it's totally geared and written for the woman, the mom, it's still a funny and like relatable enough read that I think, you know, your partner would get something out of it as well. So yeah, I would highly recommend that. And now I'm reading Taking Your Newborn Home, or Taking Home Your Newborn, which is definitely a little more dry and a little more like, it's a little more dense. They do try to like insert like funny little things here and there, but it's definitely not quite as like witty or quirky or fun to read as the other book was. So it's taking me obviously a little bit longer to get through it. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's been good. And let me show you a belly shot before I wrap all of this up. So this is my belly. So see, it's like definitely, I mean, this is a belly. But yeah, I feel good. Like I feel like it's a good size. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything, but you know, it's definitely a belly. And let me, I'm kneeling on a chair and like trying not to fall. But see, I'm leaning back a little bit. There's the linea negra, I think it's called. It's trailing all the way up. But yeah, that's my belly in all her glory. And so guys, yeah, that's it. That is the update. If I think of anything else, I will either mention it in the gestational diabetes vlog I do, which reminds me I have to like keep an eye on the time because I have to go in like probably 45 minutes to a half hour. I'm gonna just, yeah, I'll mention it in that vlog, or I'll just mention it in the next pregnancy vlog. And yeah, I hope that you guys are all having a wonderful holiday season. Oh, I did want to say like this, I feel like the second trimester, because right, like I'm closing out the second trimester going into my third, which blows my mind. It's gone by so fast, so fast. And I don't know if it's the holidays or like this time of year that just like naturally goes by really fast because everyone's so busy and like there's so many things happening. But I can't believe it. Like I really can't believe that the second trimester is over and we're heading into the third. And I just hope that like my third trimester continues to be as great as, you know, the end of my second trimester has been. I mean, really my whole pregnancy has been quite easy up to this point. And again, like I'm very grateful for that and realize that that's not, you know, everyone doesn't get to experience that, you know, easy pregnancy. And I might never experience this again. You know, I might, if I get pregnant again, like it might be really difficult. It might be completely different. So yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy it as much as possible. But yeah, it's going by fast. I can't believe it. It's so weird. Anyway, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you all really soon. Bye, guys.